Good morning, my champions. I want to welcome you today to this show. Welcome to the updates that we are giving you on this very platform as we are looking at more and more of what is happening in the nation. Very exciting news as we are looking towards our freedom, the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. And this is the gospel. Today, we are looking at a report that has just come out that Emmerson plans to evict all Harare vendors in preparation for the Sadc summit. When you look at what Mnangagwa has started to do, especially from the days that they started to prepare for this summit, it looks like Mnangagwa is more concerned about making an impression with Sadc more than exactly what is affecting the Zimbabwean people. Because we started to see, of course, the issue of the villas, him building those villas at an amazing cost and importing all the material from outside Zimbabwe, bringing in engineers from as far as Switzerland and things like that, all just to want to impress the Sadc leaders. And of course, we do understand the ploy that was behind that. He wanted to take away the Sadc leaders from the CBD or from hotels that could be within the CBD so that they can be far away in case protests happen. So all these are just ploys to to play politics instead of looking at the welfare of the Zimbabwean people, because the cost for building those villas is money that is supposed to have been used for something else that would benefit the citizens of Zimbabwe. We have issues with the hospitals, we have issues with electricity, with water, we have quite a lot. We have hunger right now in the country. There's no food and people are starving. Families are literally failing to have 3 meals in a day. But still, we have a government that would be rather better to choose to, impress the Sadc leaders and want to make an impression. We've seen, of course, Mnangagwa also digging out some roads, some of them that were still very, very good looking or that were not that bad. But Mnangagwa had to totally unsurface those roads and started to, mend them afresh. Or all because they are roads that he believes the Sadc delegation will be using to travel in the city center. So all this is not for the Zimbabwean people, it's all for himself. And I don't know why Mnangagwa thinks that if Sadc leaders would see a very good road and whatever, that impression that he wants to make, that would cause them to think that he's a good leader or whatever. Because these people are coming from much better countries, much better. I'm telling you, things are much better out there in other countries than in our own country. Things are much better in Zambia. Things are much better in Malawi. Things are much better in Botswana. Things are much better in Namibia. Things are much better. We don't even want to talk about South Africa. You see, things are much better in all those countries compared to what we are seeing in Zimbabwe. So with all this that we are seeing happening, it just indicates that Mnangagwa is so desperate to hold on to power. This is why he thinks that impressing these people will cause them to want to endorse him and give him that chairmanship that ZANU-PF is crying about, and the chairmanship that they want to make some kind of a great achievement on the part of Mnangagwa. There's no achievement on the part of Mnangagwa there. That is a rotational thing. It happens to everyone. They actually rotate. The Sadc countries and leaders rotate to get on that seat or on that chair. So there is nothing special about Mnangagwa ascending to that chair, whether he does or he does not. So ZANU-PF just want to grandstand because they know that their leader is a failure and Mnangagwa is a failure. And he thinks that if he so manages to get to that seat, then the whole world will know that Mnangagwa is a great leader and things like that. No, who doesn't know Mnangagwa? The whole world has seen Mnangagwa for who he is. So whatever that he may try or whatever picture that he may want to try to paint, thinking that it is going to change his image in the eyes of the whole world, then he's just wasting his time. There is nothing that he can ever do which will change the perception of the people of Africa, the people of Sadc, and the people of the world. So that on its own is just a big lie. So now he wants to come after the vendors and evict vendors from the streets. As you know, that the economy of Zimbabwe has totally collapsed. There's literally no employment, less than 10% employment, and most of the people in Zimbabwe, citizens of Zimbabwe, they are living through having to do something, having to be selling something, ordering some things and selling. That is all that people of Zimbabwe are living on. Kungwafa ngwafa, people are just dealing here, taking this and selling it there. And this is why we find that there's an influx of vendors all over. Everybody has just been turned into a vendor. And also, the other part that is very painful is that you'd find that those very people that are vending in the streets are making much more money than the people that are formally employed. They are making much more money than the nurse, than the teacher, than the headmaster, you see, than the soldier, than the police. So they are much better, those people, through vending in the streets. And that's why the influx, everyone is there. Everyone is looking for survival. And because of that summit, now Mnangagwa wants to evict all those vendors that are in the streets, just for him to make a certain picture or an impression to the leaders of SADC that there are no problems in Zimbabwe. So that is, they are coming in the country and seeing streets maybe not crowded, then they would think that all is well in Zimbabwe. But that's just a big lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell. Mnangagwa is not going to save himself by trying to our own people. So we don't know how that is going to be done, but of course we know that Mnangagwa obviously is going to just unleash his dogs. They will just go there, attack people, take those properties from people. So people of Zimbabwe, the vendors, the people that are selling in the streets, you must be very, very aware, very ready in case you are going to lose quite a lot of property. And you find that possibility of many being also arrested is going to happen, because it is never going to be just smooth as Mnangagwa might think. There's going to be a bit of resistance. There's going to be a bit of pushing and shoving, and that would end up causing quite a lot of other people to be arrested, beaten, or even having their properties confiscated or destroyed. So the people must be aware that this is the plan that Mnangagwa has, so that at least you preserve yourself. Make sure that you are very careful if you are going to be still going into the streets to sell during a time that is coming, because Mnangagwa is up to no good. So this is what is happening. Just an update, very sad development for ZANU-PF and its selfishness. But this is why we continue to say we need new leaders, and Zimbabwean people must arise. All these people, all those vendors, we could use that opportunity when Mnangagwa wants to evict people, to rise up against this government. I believe that the uprising against Mnangagwa can just happen even spontaneously, without really being planned or something like that. Something that will just uprise from nowhere, because of a certain issue that we are talking about, of the vendors being evicted. So this is what it is. Let's watch and see how things are going to continue to unfold. Otherwise, this is just an update that I have to be giving to you. Thank you so much for those that are joining me. Remember also to subscribe to our channel, to like and to share, so you continue to receive information each time that we share. And also remember to put a comment. We also want to hear what you think about the situations or issues that we are discussing on this very platform. Otherwise, Zimbabwe and Change Champions, intercessors, remain blessed till we meet again in the next show.